Welcome back. Okay, we are now in section 5.5 and we're doing section 5.5 day 1, which is on solving log equations. So I want to review real quick the two log formulas that we're going to use in order to solve log equations. The first one's the multiplication formula, where if you've got two things multiplied, that comes from two things that are added from logarithms. So log x plus log y, you multiply x times y and put them back together. Same thing with minus, but it's division instead. So if you have log x minus log y, you put it back together, but it is division. So in a problem like this, if we've got log 6 of 2x plus 3 equals log 6 of 20 minus log 6 of 5, when you've got the multiple logs on one of the sides, you have to put them back together. So since it's minus, it's going to mean division. So we're going to put these back together as log 6 of, we're going to take the two pieces that are on the inside and we're going to divide them. So we're going to do 20 divided by 5, which is really easy because we know 20 divided by 5. That is then log base 6 of 4. The other side only has one logarithm, so it stays the same. Log base 6 of 2x plus 3. So once you get log equals log like that, we don't have to do anything with the logs anymore. We just have to take the 2x plus 3 equal to the 4. Then it's a simple equation. So we subtract 3, we get 2x equals 1, divide by 2, we get x equals 1/2. But what we have to do with these is we have to check our answers. Because remember, we had a rule a couple of sections ago we talked about where you cannot have 0 or negatives inside of a logarithm. That doesn't mean your answer can't be negative or your answer can't be 0. It just means you can't have an answer inside here when you plug it in that gives you a negative or 0. So if I plug in 1/2, I would have 2 times 1/2 plus 3. Well, half of 2 is 1, so this would be 1 plus 3, which is 4. So since 4 is not a negative number and 4 is not 0, it works. So my answer would simply be 1/2, which works out great. So my next one, number 2, we're only going to do 4 examples, so it's going to be A-okay. We've got log base 2 of x plus 2 minus log base 2 of x equals log base 2 of 5. Now on this side I've got multiple logs and it's minus again, so it's going to be division again. So I put them back together, so this is going to be log base 2 of the two things divided. So x plus 2 divided by x, and it equals the log base 2 of 5. Log on both sides, so we get to cancel the logs. So we'd say by logs, so we've got x plus 2 over x equals 5, and we solve that equation. It's just solving a basic equation again, so it's not hard to do. So we're going to multiply both sides by x. This x goes off the bottom. We get x plus 2 equals 5x. Subtract x. 2 equals 4x. Divide by 4. We get x equals, oh my gosh, 1/2 again. Whoa! So we check it. If I come up here and I do 1/2 plus 2, is that going to be positive? Yeah, so it's good. If I put 1/2 in right here for x, is 1/2 positive? Yeah, it's good. So the answer for 1/2 is a good answer. Okay, so number 3, I could fit this one over here. We've got ln, which ln is a logarithm of 4 plus x plus ln of 2 equals ln of negative x minus 2. So plus, with the ln's on this side, plus means times. So I'm going to put a little dot. That means times. So I'm going to take the two pieces and I'm going to multiply them together. So I'm going to have ln of, if I take 2 and I multiply it times x plus 4, I would distribute the 2 times the x plus 4, the 4 plus x I mean. So if I take 2 times 4, I get 8, plus 2 times x, I'd get 2x. And it would equal the ln of negative x minus 2. So I'm just going to solve it by canceling the ln's. I'd get 8 plus 2x equals negative x minus 2. Solve it just basic. So I'm going to add the x. We get 8 plus 3x equals negative 2. Subtract the 8. We would get 3x equals negative 10. Divide by 3. X equals negative 10 thirds. Okay, so then we have to check it and see if it's going to make the things negative or not. So up here, if I do 4 plus negative 10 thirds, well, negative 10 thirds is like negative 3.33333. Well, 4 plus negative 3.33333 is still a positive answer, so it works. And then over here, if you take negative 10 thirds and subtract 2, double negatives, positive 3.3333 minus 2, positive answer. So it works. Even though it was negative, it still works. So far so good. These are not hard, are they? All right, so our last problem is the toughest one because you have to factor. Factoring's not that bad, though. You guys can handle factoring. So we've got log base 3 of x plus 5 plus log base 3 of x plus 3 equals 1. Okay, so now I can set my papers down because I don't need them anymore. Plus means times. We know that. So what we have to do on this side when we combine these together is multiply x plus 5 times x plus 3, which means we have to FOIL. We need to take x plus 5 times x plus 3. We haven't FOILed in a while, but we can handle that. So if we FOIL it, we would have x squared plus 3x plus 5x plus 15. So that's really x squared plus 8x plus 15. So that is the multiplication of those insides. So with those multiplied together, this times this, we would have log base 3 of x squared plus 8x plus 15, and it equals 1. What's different here is that log on both sides. No, it's not log on both sides, so I have to do it a little different. So what I have to do is that circle thing. I have to read around the circle. So I'm going to do 3 to the 1 equals the middle. So 3 to the 1 equals x squared plus 8x plus 15. So what am I going to do in order to get this to solve out nicely? So what should I do with this 3? Subtract it to the other side. So I'm going to subtract this 3 to the other side and get 0 equals x squared plus 8x plus 12. Then it's a simple factoring problem. What multiplies to make 12 that adds to make 8? Like I said, it'll be a simple factoring problem. That's 6 and 2. So this would be x plus 6 and x plus 2. So what would I get as my two answers? I would get x equals negative 6 and x equals negative 2. Only one of them will work, and one of them won't work because of the whole negative thing. So if you come back up here and plug them in, what happens when you do negative 6 plus 5? You get a negative answer. Can you have negative or 0? No, so negative 6 doesn't work. But can you do negative 2? Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. That's fantastic. And so is negative 2 plus 3. That's 1. That's fantastic. So negative 2 would be your only answer because only one of them will work. So that's what you're going to work on today. that should help you with your 5 problems on your homework assignment. And then tomorrow we're going to do, I believe, some log graphs. Not for sure, but I think it's log graphs. So I'll see you tomorrow.